Hi pilots and co-pilots, Brian here. Today a little flight from CYYC Calgary International down to KSFO San Francisco International. We're at the airport, we're at the gate ready to go. This is the current pre-release version available for download of the 737-900 Ultimate. Has a few bugs and quirks, but they've got it out there for people to try. I'm sure you've seen other videos on YouTube about this, but I wanted to give it a go. So we're at the gate right now. We're going to jump in, program up and get on the flight, and you'll see some of the cool features. I don't have an exhaustive list of what is there. I've noticed there are a couple of things that are missing that were on the previous release, but I know that they're redeveloping and reworking things. The scenery here is CYYC Calgary International, done by Canada for X-Plane. Again, notes below the video for that and links for that. And we're going to be flying to KSFO, which is of course the wonderful Mr. X6 scenery, and I will of course add the links to that. So you should better get the links for the free stuff that's included in this flight. Let's jump inside and see what's different. So it's cold and dark right now, and the one key thing you can see here, isn't this awesome? I think this is also on the Zebo mod for those of you who've been trying that out. I haven't gone and tried the Zebo mod by itself, but here we go. We have a tablet that's available to use. I do love this. I'm going to go back and make a video with the Zebo one soon. It's been a while. I've been giving the Zebo mod any love recently, so we're going to try that. I'm going to put my power on here. Going to feel around. Is it somewhere there? There we go. And before I do any more, let's put my lighting on. There we go. I can see what I'm doing now. Nice. Add a bit of panel brightness. And there we go. And looking here, I'm going to take the yoke out of the way. I'll just do some panel. There we go. I can see everything lit up quite nicely now. That'll do me for now. So yes, this is the main feature that I've noticed that's different. It's absolutely awesome. It takes, instead of having to look on your FMC to set these things, they're all in this lovely menu. So we have the PA system here. We can trigger different speeches at different points. You can choose which how loud the announcements are. You've got a turbulence warning and your welcome level of descent prepared speeches, as you can see there. We can start the flight leg. We'll do that in a minute. We're actually going to start loading and cleaning. Let's let them do that right now. Fuel weight and balance I'll get to in a minute. I'm going to need to set that up for my flight. You can do it straight from in here, no jumping to the menus in X-Plane 11 anymore. Absolutely awesome. Checklist and procedures. So if you want to do those, you can go through those and use them. I'm not going to use those today. Ground services. I'm actually going to get the GPU outside right now. And better pushback, if you have that installed, the free plugin for better pushback. That's all completely integrated into this as well. Awesome, huh? Settings and features. So you can set all manner of different settings about how the plane is. This really is, for me, the best plane right now that I play with on X-Plane. I think I enjoy this stuff even more than the Flight Factor 767 because the polish on this is brilliant. Right, this I've got to change something here. Change the nose wheel access to yaw so that I can actually. There we go. You can see I'm actually able to steer the nose wheel. For some reason, this is constantly resetting right now. I think it's a bug. You can choose your realism. Actually, there's one I'm going to do. Oops, I'm just going to stop that. That was very annoying. What was it? Settings and features? Realism. I need that one. Sometimes I'm away from my PC when I reach top of descent, and I do not want us flying into the ground. So visual effects. Aircraft config. I'm just doing this so that you can see all of these. So many different things. No, I'm not. Well, I could try that. Let's try that. Sync the pilots. But I tend to set them by default. I want passenger applause. I like that. I think that will do us. And we also have AV tab here, which I haven't done a review of yet, but I'll do that. That integrates that plugin as well, so we can have charts, airport info, routes, map. If I click on the map plugin to here, I think this is very useful for people who are using VR and they're within the environment and they need all that. For me, I'll still use charts externally to this, I think, because as nice as this is, I think a nice crisp clear display somewhere else is better if you're not wearing a headset. So there you can zoom all the way in on the map and watch your flight, and then you've got charts here. I can bring up, for example, there's a PDF of the taxiways at CYYC. So again, not the clearest way to see it, but it works, I guess, if you're in a VR environment. So very neat. Click on home there. So what's our route today? So this is the flight plan in SkyVector, just so you can see this. Nice straight flight, no turbulence issues or other reported issues on the route heading down, so we'll be good. So this is the front page that SimBrief has given me today. Well, I'll show you the route in a minute. To a cost index of 5. The winds from 355 at 41 knots, and we need 24,300 pounds of fuel. We can bid a flight at 34,000 feet. So we are pretty much maxed out, and if we come down here, we can see that our route today is going to be 17 left, Dumra, Ropla. An interesting waypoint, we'll probably skip that one. Bordy, Merlot, which is the transition, I think, coming into for the Bodega 2 star into KSFO runway 28 right. Quite like the look of that. The other thing to take note of here was that was our fuel. Our takeoff weight is 170,000 pounds. We're not quite the maximum, but we're not far off, certainly for the distance we're going today. This is going to be a heavy flight. And finally, we just have a quick look at the weather here. We can see a visualization of weather. The absolutely terrible hurricane that's going on right now. Of course, this will be historical for those of you watching. It's doing utter devastation through the US there. But we will, of course, be flying down the other side of the country. So you can see here, there's some cloud there. Wow, some rain precipitation that could affect us. But it's very, very tiny. It's very small amount. So we'll be good. And there's some frozen here, but we're over this direction, so we're good. I do see a couple of points of that, but I don't think that's anywhere on our route, so we're good to go. I'm inside, so let's get us connected to ground power. The GPU is on outside. If we go outside, you can just have a quick look. Somewhere. Oh, where's my plane? There we go. You can see the GPU unit has been placed in place, which is awesome. Let's have a look. Emergency lights, we can put the cover on that. Cabin utilities, and just see it's already set. Next thing we have to do is get our navs aligning, because that will take a while. I've got it set on real world, so that's 8 minutes left. You turn this bottom ring around here to status, whatever, and it will tell you how many minutes to count down on that. In theory, I should test my sound from my Mac airspeed warnings. They don't always seem to work. They do sometimes, but the sound effects for those two seem to be a bit problematic. I've got my dome on bright right now. I will just come down here and see what I can do, because I have 8 minutes. You won't sit here for 8 minutes, don't worry. I will speed up the setup. This is very much the same as it has been before. I know that we're going to be flying at 34,000 feet, so I will just set that now. Why do I do it first? I have killed all my passengers many times over, as those of you who've watched my other videos know, so I will carry on setting up. Let's just skip ahead in the video. You don't need to sit here and wait for 8 minutes whilst we wait for the IRSs to align. Well, a few minutes have gone by since you were last with me. I'm down to 3 minutes now, and I can probably do a few other tasks while we wait for the IRSs to align. I will start the flight leg in a minute, which will allow passengers to board. Let's first of all have a look how much fuel. What did I say we needed? £24,300. Let's actually do that. That's actually too much. 24.3. Hold on. Cancel that. Fuel. 24.3. Okay. Taking us to a takeoff weight of 164. Not enough, so we need to be at about 54.4. We need to be 100 and... What were we at? 170. There we go. That's roughly. That's near enough. Now takeoff central gravity is 22.5. Handy to know later. So we've set that. I'm going to start the flight leg, and there'll be the sound of passengers loading. Let's have a check on here. For 1 minute. So let's see what else we can do while we're waiting. What we can do, of course, I can bring this up, go to airport, CYYC. Giving them instructions. What am I looking for? ATIS 128.22. Okay. 128.22. Guess where I've been before.
Calgary International Information Charlie. 1300 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 7, dew point -10. Altimeter 2992.
Oh.
Arriving runways 35 right, 35 left, departing runways 35 right, 35 left. Advise on initial contact you have Charlie.
Now they've changed runways on us there. I think it's because it's calm weather right now. But we'll see. So let's do IRS. Next page. Pick one into the scratch pad. Previous page. Paste it in. Or put our airport in. CYYC. And I think my gate is 76. Paste that in there. KSFO goes in there. My flight. I'll put that in LFW. This is for my own airline that doesn't exist. It's going in there. Okay. Next page. I'm going to put this in quick, and you don't have to sit through the tediousness of me entering all these in. There we go, that was a bit of high speed for you. And I've got reserves of 3. My cost index is 5. My flight level is 340. My cruise wind is 355 at 41. 355/41. Can't remember what my outside air temperature is right now, so let's cheat and go for that. 8 degrees. It's quite warm. Oh, I don't need that on this page. Silly me. What I do need though, if we go back to here, my top of climb air temperature is probably about -51 based on what's on there. -51C. Place that in there. N1 limits. This is where we need outside air temperature of 8. A D rate. We should just about get off. Flaps 5. Central gravity of 22.5 as off the other screen. Trim's going to be 5.6. Agree to our... Oh, I think the sun just came out or something changed. 156, that is a pretty fast speed. 152 for V1. And V rotates 153, that's... Yeah, we're fast. 156. Well, let's do it. And 5.63. So we are set. So 153 goes in our IAS. Okay. We'll set our 5.6. That's about there. I imagine we'll be done loading soon. I'll turn my flight directors on ready. If I hit VNAV and LNAV, they both light up, so I've obviously put my settings incorrect. Now I'm going to talk to my passengers.
Folks from the cockpit, I'd like to welcome you on board. We're ready up front. Everybody's closed up outside. We're just waiting to get some of our performance numbers and the clearance from air traffic control, and we should be underway. It's our pleasure having you on board with us today. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Should be underway here shortly. Thanks for flying with Delta today.
There's a nice announcement. I'm just going to flick the brakes and that'll actually get the gantry away. Okay. Now let's do some overhead work here. We can set your damper for later. Get the fuel pumps done in a minute. I'll get the APU lead on for in a minute. Packs on. Get some fresh air for the passengers. Okay, I'll put the isolation valve to auto. Get some window heat on so it doesn't start steaming up in here. And get the heat on for my probes. I'm going to now turn my anti-collision light on because I am going to start my APU. There we go. Sounds like loading is all done and they're just shutting that door.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call.
Nice. We'll just wait for our APU to turn on. I'm going to start turning the power.
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Good evening,
I'm going to turn that down to dim right now. Okay, they've just shut us in. That's nice. We'll just set that to our initial altitude. We'll imagine that's going to be way up because we're way up here at 3,500 feet roughly. Okay, we're set for ejected takeoff for auto brake for later. Okay, so we have duct pressure. This is good. But we're still not, I'm not seeing this lit up for generator for the APU. The APU Jenny's not ready yet. We'll put our seatbelts on auto. Now, here we go. Okay, we're off ground power. And I shall quickly go to this screen here. Ground services. I'm going to disconnect the GPU. I'm going to now pre-plan better pushback. Oh, actually, where am I trying to go? 17 left. And I am there, so I need to push back and go to the right. You can see here. I need to push back and go around to the right so that I can come around and up that way. Okay. Get rid of my map. Back to this pre-plan. So I want to push back. I think I want to do that. Just there. And want them to rotate me just off the bottom of the screen there, really.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna request pushback. I don't see any reason why we're not.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Sweet. Let's just get these ready. I get these on ready. And he comes. Oh god, he just ran over that guy. That's really unfortunate. Here he goes. I like watching this bit, so you can watch it with me.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Thank you. Detailing on this craft is now so good. Look at this on the nose here. The pie-tot tubes and stuff. Such wonderful detailing. Freeware, remember. Although I think everybody, if you're flying this, go give them a donation. Absolutely stunning. We're all locked in place and he'll... I mean, look at the... This is a great plugin as well. Better pushback. And how cool is this? My rendering options are set too high. Yeah. It'll be fine later. Up we go. Let's head back inside.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Parking brake is released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay. We've got my fuel pumps on. My hydraulics. My packs are off. APU bleed is on. I'm going to start left engine first. Turn my probe to open steady.
And federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying a Russian.
There we go. Back we go.
There are 8 exits on this plane. 4 doors, 2 on each side.
Cool. Engine spinning up. 27% right, we're ready. Fuel in. Check for hot start or a stall. Oh, we're good. Okay. Other engine. Sounds terrible. No. Okay, I can now switch that on. We have power on that. That's pretty cool. I like that shot.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay, parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Second engine spooling up. Let's put that to cont. Put that to cont. Switch the generator on. Get my APU bleed off. Turn my APU off. I'm going to put my logo light on, and I'm going to put my wing. Disconnect and hand signals.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thank you. Just pre-dawn now.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Off he goes. Sorry, I haven't been talking, I've just been enjoying how wonderful this looks. Let's go back inside. Okay. Let's just work out where we are. We need to go head, round to the left, to the right. Okay. I got us. So let's turn parking brake off. I'm going to put my lights on. I'm lighting everything up. Little bit of thrust. We are heavy. It's going to take a lot to get us going. Just check I can steer. That's good. Follow the dotted line. This looks beautiful. What a lovely morning. It's also pretty warm. Quite surprised. I think I'm going to stay a little to the left of that line because that little aircraft there looks awfully close. It's probably not. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm still happy to stay where I am. I'm going to cut the corner a bit there. Oh, maybe not. Start turning now. I'm going to come out here rather than go past more aircraft. This is a rather beautiful morning. Hopefully it's going to be a glorious flight all the way to San Francisco. I think it's going to be. And that's a glorious airport. And it's very well modelled. You can just see the city in the background there. That's wonderful. So yeah, don't forget, look at the links below the video. I will include the link to the scenery and to the plane. Remember, this is all freeware. So as we go up, I'm going to... How far have we got to go? We're not far. I'm going to start slowing down a bit as we get to the end here so I can turn safely. When we get close, I'll extend the flaps. We need 5 degrees of flap. Oh, CYYC. I thought that's a KFC. Maybe it's just I'm hungry. Getting all excited for a minute there. I've also got whatever that is called, the realistic thing. I purchased that, and I've got that turned on, so that's probably giving me a few extra rattles and vibrations that you wouldn't otherwise get with this. I'm not altogether sure I'm enjoying it on this jet because it makes me hard to click on certain buttons and things when I'm in flight. That's a FP realistic. And round we come. 19. I'm a little fast, I think, for that. Right, okay, what do we do now? We get 1 degree, 2 degrees, 5 degrees. There we go. Flaps are coming out. Let's have a look. I'm loving the detail. So my machine, for those who want to know, it's a Intel i5 4690K. It is 3 years old. It's a 3.5 gigahertz model, but I overclock it steadily to 4.1 all the time with just some standard water cooling kit. Not my own creation, just one of those, I can't remember which company it is now, but off-the-shelf ones. That does the job for that. I have an NVIDIA 960 GTX, not overclocked. That's all I've got, and 16 gig of RAM. And that is what it looks like, and this is what it plays like. Yes, I do get slow frame rates sometimes, but on the whole, I pretty much enjoy it. When there's a lot of weather.
Approaching 17 left.
Okay. I'm guessing the other direction was correct for the weather here. Look, my windsock's pointing that way. I'm going to be taking off with a tailwind of about 3 knots. But I think we can probably get away with it. So I'm just going to turn on my landing lights.
On runway 17 left.
On my auto throttle. Okay, switch to strobe and steady, and I would of course set my transponder if I was worrying about that today, but I'm not. Okay, we are ready to go. My courses are set slightly wrong, but I think it's 165. I remember my charts. Let's just do that. No, there's no real reason to at the moment, but let's be correct. 165, that's set. We're at flaps 5. Got RTO selected. We've got enough altitude. Okay, I'm going to increase the throttle slightly until we get to about 40%, between 30 and 40. They're balanced. Looks good. Toga. Don't touch my throttle controls or it will cancel. Keep my feet on the pedals. Wait for the airspeed to come alive. Not yet. Okay, now it's alive. This is going to be a slow run, don't forget. Was it 100 and... It was a late 40, about 150 or something? Oh, VR. I can see it. Still feels a long way away. 120. 130. We're almost there. Almost.
V1.
Rotate. Clean me away. There's the city. I just saw the city there. Gear up. Bring the nose down a little bit. We're still climbing nicely. Bring my flaps in a little.
1,000.
Crank the flaps in. I think we're just fine. Okay. That felt like a really smooth and lovely takeoff. I am going to engage autopilot at this moment. You can just see the city over there.
Don't think.
I think my trim was having a little a little bit of a job readjusting, and we're just flying over the city now. We should swing back around. Early morning Calgary. Hello Calgary. That's it, it's just getting us back on the flight path here. And we're up to speed as we climb. Nice. I guess, as they say, that's how they do that. Lock the gear off. I guess next stop, KSFO. That was actually pretty pain-free. Let's just go on to legs. Actually, you know what I didn't do? I bet you there's discrepancies. And there where they are. Okay. And there's a vector in there as well, the old dreaded vector. Delete that. We don't want that. We have no ATC. And then we're going to take Menlo, paste that there. Exec. Now we're all right. Okay. So we're heading out to flight level 270 at the moment. I'm going to take this all the way up past 34. Well, to 34 actually. It takes a while to scroll the old mouse wheel around. 34, 9,000, just about to pass 10,000 feet. I'm going to turn my landing lights off in that case, and we can see the light of an early morning sun lighting up the cockpit, and look how it does. There's shadows. Flight simulation has come so far. Okay, lights off. That's all correct. APU is off. Packs. There we go. If I forget to turn them on, guess what happens to all my passengers? They die. But luckily we remembered that one again. I can turn the logo off at this stage, nobody can see it up here. APU is off. Engines are both continuous. Pumps are on. Pitot heat, probe heat is on, window heat it's on, power is good. We have some morning sun, sun's changing as we climb, going past 11,000 feet. This is good. Good job everyone, we did a good flight this morning and we're on our way. Ugh. Cleaners didn't take that nasty cup of coffee that was sitting there from the night before. Yuck. Oh well. Well, at this point, I am going to hopefully create a montage of lovely bits of the flight, and we will join you at top of descent, heading into KSFO. And in actual fact, I think I'm going to do that as a part 2 video rather than do this all in one go. You can join me maybe tomorrow or the next day for part 2 of the descent. It'll just take me a bit longer to edit the video, you see. And record it all in one go. You get the joy of 2 videos for the price of 1. So thanks for joining me, and see me in the video for part 2.